Huddle up, Steelers Nation. It's Tank and Mike for Steelers Talk. Wrapping things up at the end of the season. How'd you like that defense? Minkah Fitzpatrick is no doubt the best safety in the league. He'll knock the snot out of you.
No, even better than knocking the snot out of you is getting the turnovers and getting the offense more possessions. You do that. Knocking the snot out of you is going to get you a 15-yard penalty nowadays in the NFL. So go get the football, get the turnovers.
Love it. You know what? This defense can be built upon. I still don't like the coaching of it. I told you at one point, go back and look at the tape. It's on YouTube. Buffalo Bills game, they had DeMar Van Leal playing inside linebacker for like 15 plays, which turned into a nightmare. I don't know who on the coaching staff decided that was a good decision. That aside, you gotta love Minkah Fitzpatrick. You gotta love Alex Highsmith. And I don't want to hear this argument, Alex Highsmith, like Bud Dupree, is the beneficiary of TJ Watt on the other side. Alex Highsmith and his 14.5 sacks is his own man, Mike.
He is a little bit of the beneficiary of TJ Watt on that side.
Yeah, I'll give you a little bit.
He's getting better. He's gotten
14
better.
and a half sacks.
He's gotten better. But, you do have TJ Watt. You do have Cam Hayward. And I think he's probably one of the more underrated guys in the defense. He just shows up, nothing fancy, every week, puts in the work and gets the job done.
10 and a half sacks for your captain, Cam Hayward, Ironhead son. Maybe an all-pro season for him. TJ Watt with the injuries early in the year. Amazingly, the two things I want to talk about are his 2 interceptions. Those were remarkable, unbelievable, cat-like reflexes to make a grab like that at the line of scrimmage. Have you ever seen anything like that?
Funny you say that, because there's a guy very similar to TJ Watt being groomed for my former team, the Detroit Lions. The rookie, 3 interceptions this year, and he had a Hutchinson.
Oh, yeah.
Phenomenal season. But when you look at him and you look at TJ Watt, that's who I see. I see Hutchinson. I see TJ Watt. And TJ Watt is a difference maker. You noticed when he was on the field and when he was not on the field. You noticed when he was healthy and when he was on the field and had to come out for a breather here and there, and now he's off the field. So he definitely is a huge benefit to have out there on the field, that pressure coming off the edge. Now you got the other pressure with Highsmith, and now if you get, the Cam Hayward doing the dirty work, kind of just coming up the middle. We talked about it as on the offensive segment for a quarterback. If that pocket comes there, if you're firm up in the front, you can step up into that pocket. Well, if Cam Hayward's getting that push and these guys are coming off the edge, now there's no pocket for them to step up into. I think Cam Hayward does the dirty work. And then obviously TJ Watt, he's the star. He's the guy, the difference maker. He's going to be the guy that makes those exceptional plays, and that's why he's all pro.
Minkah on the backside, Cam Sutton, solid season. KZ, I love his enthusiasm. He doesn't know that he's not a 12-year. He thinks he's an all-pro KZ. I love guys that play like that. So let's get to this Achilles heel on this defense. Mike Tomlin's continued pursuit of the hybrid linebacker. Mike, I want to throw some stats at you. The leading tacklers in the league, the inside linebacker down in Jacksonville, Okalu or whatever his name is, 184 total tackles. The top 10 are all within 180 to 175 tackles. When you look at these undersized inside linebackers for the Steelers, you're looking at around 80 to 100 tackles for both total for solo and assisted tackles. I think Devin Bush had 81. Miles Jack, who was definitely an improvement over Orange Sherbert. They've got to get away from, in my opinion, this inside linebacker hybrid mentality of 6 foot tall, 215-pound inside linebackers. And if you go, and I told you this last season, when you look at the guys who are making the all-pro teams and the guys who are leading the league in tackles this year, they're all 6'2", 6'3". Terrell Edmonds' brother up there in the Buffalo Bills is 6'5", 250. This inside hybrid linebacker experiment by Mike Tomlin has to end.
Well, it's tough. I mean, you got to have a guy with some speed in there. you got to have some guy with some size in there. And it's tough to find. I mean, there's not many of those guys in the world that are that big and that fast and that can come up and stop the run and then still be able to play the pass. So you're kind of picking your poison. And it's like, all right, well, if you have the hybrid linebacker, all right, yeah, you can slow down maybe Travis Kelce, but you're going to get crushed by Nick Chubb or by Derrick Henry in that run game. If you bring in a big linebacker, you're going to try and stuff that run. Now all of a sudden, you're going to get smoked by Travis Kelce. Yeah, but there's two linebackers.
Anything's better than two hybrids.
Now you can
get me an Urlacher and get me a hybrid. I'm fine with that.
Well, get an Urlacher. Well, yeah, then you go. Maybe
go tell to Mike Tomlin. He's the one that wants these 180-pound inside linebackers. You can't play in this league at 180 pounds.
I don't think most corners are 180 pounds. I think you're exaggerating a little
Sean Spence, who came in to play against the Jackson Jaguars that Leonard Fournette ran all over, I bet was 185 pounds, soaking wet with his uniform on. But you get the point.
You got to go find a guy, and it's tough. You know, there's a very few guys in the world that can play that position and be able to do both. So maybe you got to have a third down guy or a dime package hybrid type guy that can still stop the run, that can run and cover, and then maybe he's not tackling Derrick Henry on 1st and 10 or 2nd and 5. You can bring, on third down, you can bring him in and have to tackle the backup or have to, trying to tackle Najee Harris on 1st and 2nd down, let him go after Warren, on third down. Let the third down scat back. Maybe that will help. I mean, maybe expanding the roster to a 53-man roster. I don't know. What is it?
Maybe I'll have pumpkin pie. Maybe I'll have banana cream pie.
What's the answer, Randy? What's the answer?
I need a Brian Urlacher inside. This hybrid stuff isn't working. Okay.
Everyone wants a Brian Urlacher inside.
Yeah. You got number 17th first-round pick. Sending Claypool to Chicago seems like a brilliant move. You have the 32nd pick.
Good deal. Great deal. I'd make that deal.
Excuse me. I'd make that deal too. All right. So, Mike, you've got the 17th pick. You got the 32nd pick. Do you use either one of those for any defensive draft choices?
Well, maybe there's your linebacker and an O-lineman.
I like it. All right, Steelers Chalk Talk. I'm Tank. He's Mike. That's a wrap up for the defense for 2023.